On October 4th, 1957, Leave It to Beaver premiered on CBS. This show, more than any other, would capture the spirit of optimism and simplicity that characterized America at that time. Few Americans were aware that that same day, the Soviet Union had launched the first man-made satellite into space, Sputnik. The illusion of innocence was evaporating as the beep-beep of the red moon ticked off the seconds into the new space age. Sputnik immediately challenged the basic assumptions upon which Western security and American confidence rested. American confidence depended upon the assumption that by empowering the individual and not the state, a free and open society could better harness the collective energies and intelligence of its citizens. Post-war American strategy depended upon an assumption of technical superiority and a high-tech solution to its problems, including a nuclear bomber deterrent to keep the Soviets penned in Eastern Europe. Imagine the reaction then, when it became apparent that a brutal, repressive regime, a backward country, was able to beat the free world to the ultimate missile. It didn't take a rocket scientist to realize that if the Soviets could launch a satellite into space, they could launch a nuclear weapon that could reach America. The American reaction was swift and substantial. In 1958, Congress created NASA to better coordinate the various aeronautical programs that existed in the military and civil spheres, whose petty rivalries had prevented the U.S. from being the first ones into space. In time, America would use its own satellites to provide needed intelligence about the world beyond the Iron Curtain. That same year, Congress passed the National Defense and Education Act, which for the first time provided a massive amount of federal funding for student aid programs in college. Yet in spite of Eisenhower's efforts to reassure the American people, Americans were convinced that they were facing a technology gap. More to the point, a missile gap. That missile gap would decide the 1960 presidential election in favor of John Kennedy. Never before in American history, and perhaps never again, has politics been determined so critically by a technical issue, and the American mind so closely connected the welfare of the Republic to scientific and technical achievement. Sputnik created a host of institutions and programs that have changed the way Americans do science. But its greatest legacy is a living legacy. It is that generation of people who found it within themselves to overcome fear and to embrace the challenges of the space age. These people were inspired and organized, trained and mentored, and overcame fear and challenges. These individuals now teach our classes and serve in leadership positions throughout society. These men and women continue to expand the frontiers of scientific knowledge, to provide us with sometimes wonderful, sometimes frightening, but undeniably miraculous tomorrows. No one living in the age of Sputnik, save the most far-sighted scientists and unrepentant dreamers, could have imagined our world today. We are equally ill-equipped to make predictions about what the world will be like in the next half-century, either on Earth or in the stars above. This new ocean, like the seas of the 20th century, could become the battlegrounds for bloody conflict. Or space could be that one frontier not baptized by the blood of the innocent as well as the brave. Perhaps as we learn how to explore beyond this pale blue dot of a world, we'll come to find the means and wisdom to build what Langston Hughes once called the land that never was and yet must be, the land where every man is free. whatever the future holds, one thing is certain. America and the world depend upon the genius, vision, and character of its citizens, who dare to ask why, dare to dream, dare to challenge the frontiers of what is known, and dare to challenge themselves to become better human beings. History in general, and Sputnik in particular, tell us that there is little that collective action cannot overcome. They'll be matched against great odds, great challenges, natural or man-made. Thanks to that belief, and to those brave believers, old and new, we can look at the heavens today and the earth below with both greater knowledge and appreciation than any other generation in history. Thank you.